By the early 1900s, deer populations were declining. Deer survey in the 1920s estimated that the deer population was down in the hundreds. Wild turkey population was getting bad. Again, unregulated hunting and habitat destruction really took a toll on Missouri's turkey population.
The wildlife had been depleted. The fish were disappearing from the streams. There was a lot of pollution.
Another thing that was going on, particularly in the southern part of the state, a lot of landowners burned their land in the spring. They thought it got rid of ticks and chiggers and did some vegetative clearing, but what it also did was create a situation where a lot of erosion was going on, a lot of the vegetation that was holding the soil in place was getting into streams, and also a lot of these fires got out of control. In the early 1930s, it was estimated that about 1/3 of Missouri burned every year in wildfires. So there was several things going on in Missouri's outdoors that needed to be corrected.
Groups that were formed around the ideas of hunting and fishing got together and said, we've got to do something. We just can't go on this way. And so the result of that effort was the idea that we need a state agency whose responsibility was to make sure fish, forests, and wildlife, were protected somehow from all these threats.
There was a citizen-led conservation effort by E. Sidney Stevens, who was a publisher in Columbia. He was a newspaper publisher, big outdoorsman, and he, through his efforts and the efforts of some other people, formed what was called the Conservation Federation of Missouri in 1935. The Conservation Federation of Missouri got on the ballot in 1936 a proposal to create a non-political conservation commission. And that was approved. It was approved by, I think, about a 71% margin, one of the largest margins ever. And that shows how much Missourians care about the outdoors. So the creation in 1936 of the Non-Political Conservation Commission led to the conservation setup we have today. It's called the Missouri Model. The result is a conservation department today that is highly respected nationwide.